Greetings and welcome everyone to Nightmare Nights. I have been looking forward to running this panel for a number of months now. And quite frankly, this is going to be a rather interesting new experience for me because this is the first panel I'm going to run where I actually knew I was going to be running the panel. Unfortunately, the last convention I attended, Crystal Mountain PonyCon, they had me set up for running a panel, but didn't tell me beforehand. They didn't let me know about it, so I show up that day, and about 3 hours before the panel begins, they say, "Oh, Dr. Wolf, can you run a panel for us?" And I'm like, "Well, I haven't really prepared anything. I did submit an application a few months ago, but I never got any word back, so I assumed that I was not going to be running a panel today." And then they look a little bit further into it and say, "Oh, actually, this panel at this time is all about you." And it's like, really? I hadn't prepared anything.
You got a projector on the screen.
It's good that we have the projector here. Okay. For today, I would like to talk about Brony fandom and how we stand together, far more than any other group that I have seen on the internet thus far. Wait, what? Any other group I've seen on the internet thus far.
Don't feel bad. Technically, you could be considered a subset of the free fandom anyway.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to say that. I first joined the Brony fandom because I could see how welcoming and understanding and creative and just all around fun they were. It was something very different from anything I had seen thus far. And as a lot of you already know, I first began making videos on YouTube in May of 2013. It's been nearly 18 months that I've been consistently making 3 to 5 videos every week without fail since then. And I have to admit, it's been a lot of fun. But the one experience that really showed me how much the fandom stands together didn't happen until nearly a year after I had begun making YouTube videos. Oh, yeah, right. There you go. Well, we'll set that up later.
All right.
Okay. On May 6th of this year, I remember that I was at work and occasionally checking my email messages to see people who had been commenting or subscribing to my channel, asking questions like I usually do, when all of a sudden I had been logged out of my email, and when I tried to log back in, I got this message from Google saying that we have detected suspicious activity on this account. So that was a little concerning. And after providing a cell phone number so they could text me a code, and I was able to get back in, I saw one message in my email. Your YouTube account has been terminated due to multiple copyright infringements. You are not allowed to start a new YouTube channel, and you are not allowed to access any of the material that you've uploaded. I gotta go. At that point, I was completely dumbfounded. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think. I had no idea why this had happened because I had never been given any copyright strikes on my channel. I had never been given any kind of warning that we don't like how you're doing these things, you need to stop or we're going to take down your YouTube channel. I mean, you'd think they would have given some kind of heads up, some kind of forewarning, some message of please stop doing this particular thing. It just boggled my mind that YouTube could take down an entire channel without warning or without any kind of copyright strikes, just everything gone. And at that point, I had already made over 200 100 videos. I had accumulated over 11,000 subscribers. I had put countless hours into this YouTube channel. It was something that felt like a tremendous part of my life. And all of a sudden it was taken away from me. At that point, I was feeling pretty, I wouldn't say angry, because I know I wasn't feeling angry with anyone. I was feeling more and hurt and confused. But after I had gone home for lunch and I had opened up Skype and chatted with some of the other Brony analysts and started asking them, hey, can any of you see my YouTube channel? And none of them could. We were trying to discuss what I could do and where I could try to chat with someone, anyone, to try to get some answers, but we hadn't really come up with anything at that point. So I had gone back to work and I was still feeling pretty down on myself, but it didn't take all that long, maybe 2 or 3 hours at most, when other YouTube channels from the other Brony reviewers and beyond started sounding the call, started spreading the news, started making videos of their own, explaining the situation and how Dr. Wolf has lost his channel, and we need people to spread the news and start sending messages and questions to YouTube staff and try to figure out what's going on, what's wrong. I even got a message from Equestria Daily, the staff at Equestria Daily, saying, hey, we've been hearing all these rumors, is your channel really taken down? And I was explaining to them, yeah, this actually happened this morning, and I had no real answers. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And within a couple of hours, they had an article on their website saying Dr. Wolf's channel has been taken down. And they were requesting people to send messages to YouTube. By the way, for anyone who's watching on the internet, this is my brother Tarek. Can we get a wave out of Tarek here? He's been most helpful in helping set up things for me today. I think that's on the other side, but well, maybe not on the other side. Okay. I was very quickly overwhelmed by the enormous amount of response that I was getting from the Brony fandom, from people who had never even met me, who had just heard about this story and started spreading the news in their own way. I saw dozens upon dozens of other videos from other reviewers on other channels giving their perspectives on the situation and spreading the news and hoping that something good could come out of this. I was honestly deeply touched by the fact that the news was spreading so far and so fast, and that there was so much response from so many wonderful people who were trying to help me out, even people who had never heard of me before. Over those next couple of days, before I had known any answers from anyone at YouTube, I was still getting constant messages on my email and through Skype and through DeviantArt and anywhere that people could get in contact with me. Just pages upon pages of people sending messages of, don't give up, that we're here for you, we're going to make a difference, just stick by it, we'll figure it out. It was really fascinating being being the center of all this attention, all this positive attention from people who had never met me before, from people who had just been watching my videos and liking my content and suddenly making that effort, making that genuine, heartfelt effort for my sake. It was rather devastating to feel like I might have permanently lost all the work that I had been putting into my channel. That was hard. What was honestly harder for me is the fact that I had been able to reach so many with this YouTube channel, that I had been able to be an example, that I had been able to inspire others in so many ways, that even before felt really touched by my work and started seeing things in a new perspective, not just MLP, but life in general. This channel has been a wonderful way for me to expand upon anything I could ever have thought I could accomplish before. It's improving upon my voice acting, my editing, and my writing, but being more social than at any other point in my entire life. I have to say that this is something that was completely unexpected for me. I never would have thought I could possibly have come so far with what I've done. It's something that just baffles me time and time again, every time I just think about it. I never would have known that I had so many talents were it not for the fact that the Brony fandom itself, the community, has been so supportive and so encouraging and so uplifting. And in the moments when I had lost my channel, I had learned in a whole new way just how deeply true that is. It is a wonderful experience to see all these people coming together from all walks of life and all over the world, in the fact that it is a community that centers around a show that's all about pink ponies. But honestly, it's the community itself that really inspires me. The show is a wonderful example of media in today's world. But it's the community and the fandom that surrounds it that has become that wonderful, inspiring example that I want to encourage and I want to help to grow in so many ways. This is why I felt this drive to join, this passion to take part, to do something about it, to help make it even better. When my channel finally did return, and there was this widespread celebration from all these different channels saying how wonderful it is that the Brony fandom had come together so quickly and in such great numbers, that we had made that difference, because honestly, I had thought it would take weeks, if not months, just to get a response from YouTube, just for someone in their staff to take notice. We have a question.
So how long was it actually between the time that you were shut down to the point that you were brought back up?
Less than 2.5 days. Wow. The time my channel was shut down to the time it was brought back. Other question?
Have you ever considered transferring your videos to Daily Motion?
I've had a few videos moved to Daily Motion whenever I've had problems like that, yeah. Another question in the back?
I'm sorry, but this is not really offensive, but we just walked in, but what is your name on YouTube?
I can't hear you back there.
What is your name on YouTube?
Dr. Wolf.
Dr. Wolf, okay.
Dr. Wolf, yes.
Dr. Wolf 001.
Yes. And question from Robin.
Did you ever get a response from YouTube about why they prohibited that?
The response I got from YouTube was just 2 sentences. Your channel has been reinstated. You can go back. You can go back and take a look at your video manager using this link. There was never any explanation as to why it had been taken down, what they had found wrong, or why they had reinstated. There was no apology or inquiry of any kind. But you know what? I really didn't care at that point. I was just so ecstatic that all the work I had been putting into this channel had been brought back from the grave. And it was through the effort of so many wonderful people around the internet, around the world, who were making that effort on my behalf. And that's really what I wanted to talk about today, how the fact that the Brony fandom stands together in such wonderful, creative, and uplifting ways. I've just never seen that in other fandoms across the internet. I haven't come across any other community that has been so welcoming and understanding and so inspiring. And that's the kind of message that I want to continue to spread and encourage throughout these many months and years that I hope to keep going with this channel and in future conventions, wherever that may take me. This is a wonderful place to be. And it is because of the people who are taking part that it has become such a wonderful place to be. Question from Terry.
I was just wondering if we might want to open it up to if some of the people on the floor have similar experiences, or if they want to share some of their own experiences where they have felt that kind of unity in the fandom.
That is something I am hoping to touch on, but I want to try to get through one more section of what I have planned. I believe that anyone in this fandom can make a difference. That anyone who decides that I'm going to do something can reach that goal if they have the drive and the passion, the confidence to make it happen. And the Brony community has been so supportive in so many ways in helping other people like me to reach that point. I never really even gotten started if I felt that no one would have listened to me, if no one would have discussed what I was going to talk about. My very first video was all about little Miss Fluttershy here. And I want to thank some very devoted fans of mine for giving me this Fluttershy and a pair of wolf ears, because I think it is rather adorable the way it turned out.
Wolf ear guy's here.
Yeah, thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Yes, I see that. I am very grateful to both of you for providing this little visual help for me today. I believe that if you decide to take that step, not just in making videos, but in making artwork, in writing stories, in making music, or even in analyzing and reviewing, or creating animations, or live action, or there's so many different ways that you can contribute to the Brony fandom. And even if you decide that you are not going to be one of those content creators, there are many, many other ways that you can support those who do. Because every time I see a comment from one of my watchers talking about how much they appreciate my work, it really drives me on. It really gives me that motivation to keep improving upon myself, to keep creating better content in the future. I honestly believe that we do make that difference for each other. That even if you are just making one little piece of art in some random corner of the internet, it does make a difference, even if you can't directly see that difference. And whenever you leave a comment on someone's channel, or on someone's art piece, or on someone's music, or someone's video, it does make a difference. It does help to support and encourage and uplift, and it does help to spread that good from one part of the internet to another and beyond. I want to encourage everyone to remember how important it is to stand together. I've had a wonderful experience in how powerful effect that has. And I want to try to show other people how wonderful that can be if you keep standing together, if you keep striving together, if you keep building together. This is something that I'm going to be remembering for the rest of my life, from these wonderful experiences and all these wonderful people. And I hope that each of you will remember to pass it on, to pay it forward, to make that difference in your own lives. Whether you decide to contribute in your own way, because that does make a difference, or whether you decide to support those who contribute in their own way, that does make a difference. It's always going to make a difference as long as we decide that it's worthwhile. And I know that it's worthwhile. I've known that it's worthwhile for a very long time now, and I'm going to keep encouraging that for many years to come. And I hope that each and every person in this audience will learn to understand that too. That as a community, we do stand together in ways that are wonderful and inspiring and just all around fun. So, like
Can I present an example here?
all right, Mr. Derek.
Where else would you ever find a community where you invite a bunch of people who you hardly know to your own wedding and everybody cheers for you?
For those of you who are watching this video online, there's actually a wedding going on in the next room from two people who had proposed to each other at this convention last year. And now they're being supported by fans at this wonderful moment in their lives. So, I would like to open up the floor for people who have had their own experiences and would like to share them, or for people who have questions and would like to encourage the discussion. Yes, please.
Well, a few years ago,
Actually, if you come up here, we can have you use the microphone so everybody can hear.
Okay.
I would like people to come take part.
Well, I'm Silver, or Sean Robinson. I am still on Canada forums. I'm a dedicated local there, but a few years ago, I lost my great-grandmother. She had been in the nursing home for a while. I had gone to visit her at Christmas. She had fallen and broken her hip. And so I explained to my friends on that website why my replies are so slow, why they were lifeless. And I told them straight up, it's like, my great-grandmother died, we put her in the ground, and it's affecting me in a way I cannot really do it to the best of my ability right now, so please bear with me. And I got a ton of comments in that thread, an activated repeating thread. And on Facebook, where I posted in the groups, a lot of people came up and supported me in that time, and it made me feel a lot better, and I managed to bounce back a lot quicker than I would if I just kept it inside the wall. That's all I really want to share.
Anyone else have a story that they'd like to share with us? Please do.
Yes, I think it works.
Yeah, there we go. Come join and share with us.
I'm Half the Battle, and I've been in the fandom for about 2 years, and actually as a result of this convention last year, I've been active on Twitter. One thing that I saw over the course of the past year is the way that fans are supporting the people on the show, and not in terms of just idolizing them, but being encouragers, being friends from a distance, you could say. And one particular story that I have is there was an episode this past season where there was a little bit of controversy over the handling of the character. Amy King Rogers wrote an episode about Fluttershy. Pinky at one point makes Fluttershy cry, several points actually, and you're not supposed to make Fluttershy cry. And so there's a lot of almost an uproar over that, but sort of in good fun. We all understand it's just a show, but there were a couple of people in particular that tweeted some fairly crass comments to the writer in response to that. One in particular that I would see as kind of threatening, Amy actually retweeted, which is not her normal thing. She's very mild-mannered, very gracious, and so the fact that she retweeted that comment indicated that she kind of wanted to communicate how much that hurt her. Well, over the next 24 hours or so, there was a deluge of supportive comments in that Twitter feed in defense of Amy, not necessarily agreeing, but just saying, we support you, we understand your freedom of the writer, and we don't think anybody has a right to be unkind as a result of their disagreement. And as much as you sometimes see the negative or darker sides of fandom rise up in various controversies, it was just very heartwarming to me to see people come together and not just about a fictional character, but about the real people who have given us these fictional characters that we love. Thank you.
Thank you kindly.
See if I can get, there we go.
Yes, I am eating the mic. No. I just wanted to add a little comment here. There was a great man that said, we don't always agree, but we can disagree without being disagreeable. And I really think that applies well, especially on the internet. There are a lot of different opinions on the internet. There are a lot of disagreements. There are a lot of
people that feel very strongly about their position. If you feel opposed to that position, that's okay. You can disagree without being disagreeable. Attacks, personal attacks on people's character, threats of violence, even death threats, there really is no place for that on the internet, and especially in this fandom. I have also been very impressed by the amount of unity that I have seen in the various fandoms. I'm a furry myself, and I've seen it also in furry fandoms. How many furries do you have? All right, yes. So I've seen it in various fandoms, and I've seen us come together to support each other. People that we hardly know, but we share a common purpose and a common love of these things. Let's spread that love, and we can disagree with people, and we can still support them without being disagreeable.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else want to share a personal story?
Well, do we have any questions?
We've got one coming up.
Got one coming up, okay.
Okay, state your name, state your driver's license, and Social Security.
My name is Daniel Roden, and I've been into the fandom for about 3 years now. I just got when I first saw the show. I watched the episode when Rarity got captured by the Diamond Dogs. And when I first saw that episode, I laughed so hard that my face was red. And I took that when I first heard about the show, I thought it was when I watched it, I was blown away. And a few years after that, some of my grandparents died. First it was my step grandma, then it was my step-grandpa, then first it was my great-grandma, then my grandpa, then my step-grandpa, or step-grandma, and then step-grandpa, and I've had a lot of losses in my life. But when I saw that show, it really touched my heart, and displays a lot of emotion in the real world today. And I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to express my feelings about it. I just wanted to express my feelings about the show.
Do we have any questions for today? Question over here.
I think you might have addressed this before, but I don't quite remember what your answer was. Why did you decide to be a wolf rather than a pony?
Question is, why did I choose to make my online character a wolf instead of a pony? In my early days of creating videos on YouTube, I had no OC whatsoever. I was just showing images directly from the show while talking over them. But a number of my watchers back then said I probably should have some kind of OC, some way to stand out. And at first I was thinking, well, all the other pony reviewers out there have pony characters, so I should probably make one too. But the more I looked into it, the more I thought about it, the more I realized, how could I make a pony character and actually have him stand out from all the others? There are thousands upon tens of thousands of other pony OCs out there. So it actually made more sense to create a wolf once a week in many conversations with my brother Terry and with an artist, Damien X, who had offered to draw whatever I wanted. We came up with a little Arctic wolf with glasses that's wearing a shirt and purple tie, and was sitting in a psychologist's office with Fluttershy on the couch. And that was the very first piece of Dr. Wolf fan art ever, and that has been the staple of the character ever since. I decided to make a wolf character because I wanted to stand out. I wanted to have some way of being unique, because I'm really not all that creative in coming up with designs, and I just didn't think I could make a pony OC and have him stand out from all the others out there. Any other questions?
You didn't tell them about your childhood love of wolves.
Oh, yes, I do have a childhood love of wolves, and it's still very prominent, but I spent far time looking into ponies these days than wolves.
You guys didn't see the wolf posters all over his walls when he was growing up.
I had a couple of pictures of wolves. I had little figurines of wolves on my top of my bed, that kind of thing. But goodness, that's been forever ago.
Oh, but you've got to tell the whole story.
I don't think there really is much more to tell.
All right.
Right. Well, if we didn't have any other questions today, anyone? I did have a short little video that I had hoped to be able to show during night nights. Those of you who have been following my channel for a very long time know that I have been working on a Team Fortress 2 Brony Reviewer project. This international work with I'm a big TFT player. Big TFT. Okay. Right.
It's the only game I play.
Yes.
All right. We will argue about favorite classes after the video.
Did it just so I could have this part of my assignment.
I said after the video.
Give Wolfier's a gift too.
Oh, really?
We need to get that.
Wow.
This project has been in the works since the middle of June. It's taken this long to get this far. What you're about to see here is still work in process. I imagine that we're still going to be making a lot of tweaks before the final copy is uploaded to my channel, and I'm hoping that a lot of people have fun with it, but as a special treat for Nightmare Nights, I thought that I would show what we have thus far, just as long as people understand that this is going to be subject